Savannah, so great to have you on the podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Happy Friday.
Yeah, excited for the
It's
weekend.
it's been a while since we've connected. I know what was it? Was it didn't we run
Blueprint.
into Yeah, it was Blueprint. So it's almost been a year actually. I mean, we've chatted from time to time, but actually this type of conversation, it's been a while. So I'm excited to chat with you here today. Would love if you could start out by telling the audience a little bit about your background, your company, and then we'll just go into a nice casual conversation.
Awesome. Sounds good. So, yeah, I've been, I in the industry, I guess, almost 20 years, maybe like 18 and a half, 19 years. I grew up in a family where my parents owned a restaurant. So I got a job at a young age, worked for my parents at my parents' restaurant, and went to school, had to pay my way through school. So had my parents' restaurant I still worked at, and I worked at a hotel as well as getting my real estate license because a friend of mine said, "Hey, my mom owns a brokerage and she's looking for help. I'm going to get my real estate license. Want to do it with me?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." And so got my real estate license at 18 or 19 and did worked for her mom doing some odd jobs here and there for a little while. Worked at a got an internship and worked at a commercial real estate company that did property management. That was my first in with property management, and answered tenants' calls and did some accounting work for them and did a bunch of property tours and underwriting and all sorts of random jobs for them. And then when I graduated, I went into banking for a little while, but I hated that, quite honestly, to the point where I got promoted. The regional manager came in, was like, "Oh, you work hard. We're going to promote you." And I gave my notice on the spot right there in that meeting. I was like, I just know in my heart of hearts, this is not for me, and I am going to go find something different. So my husband and I ended up moving to San Francisco, and my cousin worked at a multifamily real estate asset management company and offered me a temporary job. So I did underwriting and all sorts of work for them as a temp on my own computer at the end of somebody else's desk while I tried to figure out what was going on with my life. I wanted to be an investment banker, met with this guy, a friend of my cousin's actually, who told me, unless you want staplers thrown at your head, I would recommend you are not an investment banker and you stay where you're at because you are at a great company doing great things. You will learn everything. So stay there, work hard, and do what you can to um, get into the real estate industry because that's where it's at. And so I listened to his advice and stayed there. The market crashed in 2008 and I thought I was going to lose my job, but my cousin took me out to lunch and was like, "Hey, you work hard and we don't pay you a lot of money. So we'd like you to stay." And so I was like, "Great, I'll do what I can. Like, let's make this work." And so that's how I got into multifamily specifically. And I worked for them for a while until we decided we wanted to bring in our own management company. I moved to Denver from San Francisco to help start the management company, was the first employee and helped build all of the teams and recruit people and bring on all of the properties onto our management platform and worked collectively for those companies for 14 years before I moved on to another owner operator here in Denver and worked for them for 2.5 years. And my business partner now, Ian, saw potential in me and he was building Apartment Snapshot, and I was helping him integrate it into the Avanti residential team and framework. And he asked me if I would come and run Apartment Snapshot, bring it to market, and get it going. And that's where I'm at now.
I love it. And what would you say whenever you meet someone new when you're first explaining them, like you're telling them more about Apartment Snapshot, in a hopes that you want to get them to get what you're doing immediately? What's kind of your go-to description?
So it's taken a little while and many iterations to kind of see what sticks with people. I'm a data geek, so sometimes, things get lost in translation. But I think what really resonates the most is that we're a KPI tracking platform for multifamily employees to track their progress and their performance with all of their key indicators of performance. So KPI tracking is really what resonates the most with people. And we tie their KPIs to a live bonus tracker so that we provide that transparency for team members to see not only how they're performing now, but how they're performing based on where their bonus potential is. So if they're only right now performing to get 80% of their bonus, they have the ability before bonuses get paid out to push that extra bit to get more of their bonus and possibly their full payout.
How has the problem evolved since you started the company?
So our original problem that we were solving was data engagement. So a lot of companies in the multifamily space over the last, several years have implemented BI platforms and focused on heavily on analytics and automating data into a platform where you can report on the performance of a property as an asset or what have you. I spent a bulk of my career building those reports for investors and asset managers and multifamily executives to understand the performance of a property. The lens in which you look at that typically is from an investment standpoint. How can we get more money for our investors is the question, right? But I identified quite quickly that that lens doesn't work for the team members, right? For them, they're not focused. They're so focused on customer service from the resident level or the prospect level, and they're much more micro than the reports are built to show macro level data. And so it doesn't resonate with them and they're not quite understanding. And when it comes to sitting down with asset managers, executives, or investors, the question is always like, I can tell you where it's been, I can predict where it's going based on where it's been. But I can't move the needle. The question's always, how do we get it to do better, right? How do we get more out of this? And no one at the table looking at those reports can move the needle. The people who move the needle are the people day to day on site doing their job. You need to incentivize them to do better if you want the property to do better. And so at Avanti, my partner Ian, he was experiencing the same. They implemented BI and no one's looking at these reports. No one on site is logging in, looking at them. It's not resonating with them. It's not actionable to them. It's not motivating them to perform better. And so the discussion started being, how do we do that? How do we get them to be motivated to understand their data, to look at their data, to make it actionable? And Ian has a background in technology. He has run other technology companies. And so he came up with the idea to build an app and to gamify it so that we can use gamification to make it fun and incentivize them to perform better and tie it to actual incentives and rewards for them so that they're getting something out of it, right? And so that's where it was. The engagement piece was the piece that we really thought was missing, that engagement. And since then, we've really evolved to include a lot of culture building aspects of team building and culture building, and understood that it's more than just providing a carrot for somebody to perform better. It's about building a culture that's surrounded in celebrating our wins, celebrating our progress, and helping educate and empower our teams to take ownership of their property performance, their personal performance, and feel like they're contributing.
Where are you at today, Savannah, and what are you looking forward to most with the company?
Where we're at today is very much just growth mode. We're partnering with clients that I am so incredibly grateful for, that are true partners and are providing us a lot of feedback on how to make our application better and what resonates or doesn't resonate with their teams, and helping us to really develop a solution for the industry. I think that is very important to me, being that I came from the operator side and experienced a lot of these pain points, that we continue as we evolve, focusing on listening to the industry, listening to our clients, listening to the pain points that exist, and providing a solution that truly speaks to the industry and is actually solving problems or providing value. Both sides of that coin, right? You could solve a problem or you can provide value. I'd like to think we could do both.
I like it. What do you like most about your day to day? And what do you maybe like least about your day to day right now?
I think probably one of those fine lines of both is oh, I am not in control of my day to day. Being a CEO of a startup means that you're wearing many hats, and you wake up thinking that this is my list, this is what I'm going to accomplish today. Typically speaking, the list goes out the window and whatever happens, happens. I think I love that because I love to be busy. I love to keep going. I love to feel productive. I love to talk with people and network and connect with people. And I feel like I do a lot of that, which is really great and exciting. It's never a dull moment. But on the flip side, sometimes that to-do list does come back and bite me in the butt. And it can be challenging to accomplish what I need to accomplish every single day. So I think it's a fine line. The excitement of being part of a startup and building a brand and building a company and building a product that is hopefully solving or creating value in our industry. It can be, there are moments, I'm like, why am I doing this? Can I just punch in to a job and punch out and make a paycheck that pays my bills?
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult, more stressful, but it's so worth it. It's so nice to be able to take what starts as nothing and then grow it and build it. And I always tell people it's like you go up 2 spots, then back four, then up two, then back seven. It's like it's what's that old? It's like shoots and ladders, right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship. It's literally like the board game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You should make one. You should make an entrepreneur shoots and ladders.
I think that would just depress
Sell it.
people. Because you'd be going down a lot more than you ever go up the ladder
Yeah.
until like the very end of the game when you finally hit the top point.
Yeah, you just need like one rocket ship square. And if you're lucky enough to land on the rocket ship square, you made it.
I love it. That's fun. We're already. It's crazy to think this, but we're basically heading into Q4 very very soon. What's next for the company that is top of mind that you can share with us here today?
Yeah, I think, Q1 and Q2, I did a ton of travel. I was going to all sorts of local and small and big and medium, and I was all over the place trying to get out there, trying to get in front of people. And, um, summer is a lull for conferences, which is, last year kind of caught me by surprise, and we had a lull in our traction with demos and sales and conversations, and I was very motivated not to have that this year, and to keep the momentum going through the summer. And so I did as much as possible to get in front of, as much as have conversations and a networking as possible in the first couple of quarters. And we're kind of in client mode. So we're onboarding some new clients, and I'm working through our onboarding process and looking inward to refine our process, refine our product, refine some things, and taking advantage of this lull that summer gives to really create value for ourselves as well. And so I'm looking forward. Q4 is usually, again, hitting the road, and I'm getting out there. So we're really taking Q3 to provide value to our current clients and onboard some new ones and get our product in a good spot to hit the ground again in Q4. So I like it. I'm excited about it. I think we're in a good spot. I really feel that, entrepreneurship, it's a roller coaster. I feel like we're getting traction, we're having good conversations, our product's headed in a good direction. I'm feeling positive about it.
Well, I wish you the best of luck,
Thank you.
let's definitely stay up to date on everything happening. But I know you'll continue to move forward and do great things. And yeah, let's definitely stay in touch. But thanks so much for joining me on the podcast here today.
Yeah, thanks, Jared.